first of all, I guess the team must have been pretty frustrated with Tuesday night's cancellation of the Barnsley game at sort of shortish notice.
Hi Scott. Yes, they were. Obviously, it was very late in terms of when we called the game off, but we had prepared fully. We were ready, and that affected us obviously in terms of how we then prepare for Saturday's game at MK Dons. But I think for the Barnsley supporters and travelling so far, it's a real shame for them. But I think that's football. I think that's the kind of the lower leagues and the British weather. To be fair to Chaz and the ground staff, they gave it absolutely everything. They were working tirelessly to get it on, and there was just a small area of the pitch that was unsafe, and the ref decided that he had to call the game off. So that's football, and we have to get on with it.
And Yokel Anderson will be the most annoyed of that. Finally gets his chance to play in front of fans at St James Park after his loan spells before. I mean, bringing him down as well, does it help that he knows the club so well that he would have been able to slot straight in and know some of the players still here?
Yeah, I was actually gutted for him because he was so excited, and he's a fantastic character. I met him for the first time on Tuesday morning. He came in so I could kind of speak to him about the team and what we're trying to do. He was so excited for the game at SGP to meet the supporters and kind of get out there again, but it wasn't to be. But since then he's trained extremely well. He's a fantastic voice in the training ground. He's somebody that brings an energy to the training ground, and I think him having played here before and known the centre backs, knowing the defenders, understand each other's game, that was a huge part of why we wanted to bring him back for this emergency loan. But like I said, since he's been here, I've been absolutely delighted with how he is as a person and his goalkeeping attributes as well.
And Jamal took a knock towards the end, I think, of the Portsmouth game last weekend. Are you able to give us an update on how he's getting along?
Yeah, we're not quite sure. He's getting a scan. I don't think it's too bad, but we're getting a scan just to make sure it's some muscle in his glute, and we don't know the full extent yet. So hopefully it's not too long. But like I said, we've got an able deputy and Yokel in the building, so we'll assess that over the coming days and see how long we need to keep Yokel.
In terms of the rest of the squad as well, how are they looking injury-wise? I believe you said earlier that Josh Cooley will be joining the team for part of training today.
Josh Cooley's doing a part of training, which will be great to have him. He's been another great character around the place, having obviously spent time here with the lads before. He's fitted in very easily, but to get him out on the grass and see him, see his attributes, and he's somebody that I don't think we have that type of player in the building, so to have him back will be a big boost.
And Sam Stubbs has been on the bench the last few weeks. He's been going through some pretty vigorous warm-ups and that during games. I mean, is he any closer to featuring?
He is, yeah. I think he's, he could come off the bench now. I think when we first put him on, we were putting him on just for his personality and his character around the dressing room, but he's now trained enough that I think he could come on the pitch. We're trying to get an in-house game next week for him and other players to bring them up to speed, so that would help him. But he has been working extremely hard and he is ready to contribute if needed.
We bumped into Kyle Taylor here last week. Actually, he seemed in really high spirits as he, gets ever closer to getting back to some form of fitness. I mean, how is he doing?
Yeah, he's working hard. He's still a good bit away, I think, from joining in training, but he's running with the physios on the grass now, which is another step forward for him and what has been a really long road for him. But he is getting ever closer, but I would think it would be back end of the season before he's joining in and training and potential to get on the pitch. And
trip to MK Dons this Saturday. A team that are probably not where you'd expect them to be in the league right now, but they've got some very dangerous players in their squad, haven't they?
They have, yeah. They've got Will Grigg, who I know extremely well. I signed him for Wigan, and he was on fire that season, for want of a better phrase. So yeah, I know a few of their players. I had Zach Jules at Chesterfield as well. They have good players. They play a really expansive game. I think their position in the table is a little bit false, and we have to be prepared for a really difficult game. I watched them on Tuesday night when our game was postponed, and they were very unlucky to lose the game. So we have to be ready, like we are every week. for another difficult challenge.
And it's the second week in a row that we play a team that's had a change in management recently. Does that have any effect on the team? Do you find that teams are probably more willing to try and impress the new manager and really give more than maybe they had in previous weeks, or is it just one of those things in football?
Yeah, a little bit possibly, but I think the big thing is maybe a difference in formation. They have been playing 5 at the back, and recently they've went to a 4, so it's that little bit more uncertain of what formation they're going to play. So the analysts, Marcus and Alex and myself, we just have to look, in more detail at the personnel, and so when we get the team, we're clear on what formation they're going to play.
And the question that all managers hate being asked at this point of the season, but less than a week of the transfer window left, do you expect many incomings to the building?
Yes, I expect a few. Today we've got Demi Mitchell in the building, which is fantastic. He's somebody that we've chased all January. He's somebody I know extremely well, having worked with them individually and then obviously worked with him at Hibs as well. So that will be a massive signing for the club. And we're working on a few others as well, which hopefully will get done before the window closes.
And what made you bring? I know obviously you worked with him before, and you know what he can offer. But what made you bring him to the club?
I think he's a really energetic player. He's a player with real pace. He can play anywhere. He's quite versatile. He can play anywhere up the left-hand side. He could even play, in a front 3 off the right and coming in on his left foot. He's a great character. I think he'll fit into the good bunch of boys that we have here already, and like I said, he's somebody that we've chased for most of the window, so we're delighted to get it over the line.
He's had a few injury issues over the last few seasons. I mean, is he ready to go, or is it a case that he'll need bedding in?
No, he's been training fully with the Hibs squad for a while now. He's had no injuries. Most of his injuries are impact injuries. And that's maybe something I'll need to kind of speak to him about and help him with that. But he's a really physically fit guy. He's in great shape, so it's a case of getting him up to speed, getting him on the pitch, and getting him the minutes to get him ready to play 90. But he's ready to train straight away.
For the fans, he could be quite an exciting signing to watch, I guess, as well, with his attributes and his kind of style of play.
Yeah, really dynamic player. Somebody that's played in the league above, a lot of games in the league above. He's played in Scotland. He's been promoted from this league with Blackpool as well. So he's the type of signing that we want at this football club. Somebody that's ready to go and impact the league straight away. He's 26-year-old. I think he's coming into the peak years of his career. So like I said, it's a signing we really wanted for most of January, and we're delighted to get it done now.
And how about outgoings? Have we had any bids for any players? Do you expect any to come in the next week?
We haven't had any so far, and I don't expect any, because it would take a huge sum of money to get any player from this football club now, between now and the remaining days of the window.
This week the Trust launched a new community ticket scheme to help those who are struggling in the current cost of living crisis, to allow them to be able to still attend games. I mean, I guess that just sums up everything this club stands for. Yeah,
I think it is. It sums up, Semper Fidelis, loyalty, and looking after our supporters, and everyone being together in a time, like you say, a financial crisis, a difficult time of year. January, always a month where, it's not a month you look forward to with the weather and after Christmas. So for us to do something like that and give some positivity to people and encourage them to come to SJP is fantastic.
Just finally as well, we edge even closer to that half marathon in February. How's the last week of training been?
We got 12k in before Portsmouth on Saturday morning. Perks and Sam done it extremely quick. Me and Kev done it together and had a good chat round, so it wasn't too fast. But since then I've done nothing. I've been pretty busy with other things, so I'm trying to get a run in today, but that was meant to have started a while ago. So we'll keep going, we'll keep working and try and be as prepared as we can for race day. But like I've always said, more importantly, hopefully we raise money, and it's not about the kind of the race or the speed that we do it. It's more about the money we raise for a brilliant cause.